I'm refuting how the United States should legalize the use of marijuana thoroughly for the age of 18 and older. Marijuana is not considered a safe alternative as a drug. According to researchers who looked at more than 30,600 samples of legal marijuana seized by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration over 20 years, they found that the level of THC, or tetrahydrocannabinol, marijuana's main psychoactive ingredient, in the marijuana samples rose from 4% in 1995 to about 12% in 2014. An earlier study in Colorado found some samples contained up to 30% THC, the main psychoactive ingredient in weed. So the CBDs in marijuana is what keeps you high. The THC are the negative effects of the marijuana. And the affirmative stated that there are other alternatives in eating marijuana, like for marijuana, such as edibles or vaporizing. I believe you said that. However, vaporizing according to the Colorado Department of Health and Environment, vaporizers heat marijuana to relieve its active ingredients without burning. As with water pipes or bongs, there has not been enough research to know using vaporizers is safe than unfiltered smoking marijuana. Some research shows that vaporizers lower the amount of potentially harmful tars in smoke. Other studies have shown fewer respiratory symptoms among these using vaporizers. However, a recent study has shown that vaporizing marijuana can lead to toxic levels of ammonia in the vapor. It stated that prohibition teens is effective. However, claims have stated that marijuana ignites alcoholism. According to Carl Kahn, the White House correspondent, marijuana is the most commonly used illicit drug. Alcohol has already caused so much destruction and dysfunction in society that we must ask ourselves, why are we rushing to expand the use of another substance with its own social and economic costs that will undoubtedly be borne by society? Adults who use marijuana are 5 times more likely to develop an alcohol use disorder, AUD, alcohol abuse or dependence, compared with adults who do not use the drug, and adults who already have an alcohol use disorder and use marijuana are more likely to see the problem persist. Results of a study by researchers at Columbia University's Mailman School of Public Health and the City University of New York appear online in the journal Drug and Alcohol Dependence. They say that smoking can cause cancer and marijuana doesn't. Dr. Ellison, president of the American, apologize. Marijuana smoke contains 4 times more tar than cigarette smoke. The American Lung Association does note, like tobacco smoke, marijuana smoke contains cancer-causing chemicals. There are 33 cancer-causing chemicals contained in marijuana. Marijuana smoke also deposits tar into the lungs. In fact, when equal amounts of marijuana and tobacco are smoked, marijuana deposits 4 times as much tar into the lungs. This is because marijuana joints are unfiltered and often more deeply inhaled than ingredients. Also, marijuana expects to release more carbon monoxide in humans, males or females. Cannabis smokers end up with 5 times more carbon monoxide in the bloodstream than tobacco smokers. Team leader Richard Beasley at the Medical Research Institute of New Zealand said in his news results. The scientists also noted that marijuana could be expected to harm the airways more than tobacco since its smoke contains twice the level of carcinogens such as polyromatic hydrocarbons compared with tobacco cigarettes. The affirmative also stated that marijuana smoking does not cause bladder issues like cigarettes. However, in the Journal of Urology, according to the Journal of Urology, heavy pot smokers could be putting themselves at risk for developing bladder cancer. Marijuana smoking might be an even more potent stimulant in malignancy than cigarette smoking. Head and neck and lung cancers have been tied to marijuana use, and there is evidence that these marijuana-associated malignancies may strike at earlier stage. And the affirmative also stated that there is death in overdose, and in Colorado, there's been people who've been overdosing because they do not know how to limit themselves. A teenager in Colorado died after consuming an entire marijuana cookie that contained 6 servings of marijuana's active ingredient, tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, which is the bad one, According to a new report, about 5 hours after he ate the whole cookie, he jumped off the balcony in the fourth floor of his building and died from the trauma from the fall. So people are occasionally overdosing themselves because they do not know how to handle the marijuana, and they're not educated about the THC levels in the marijuana substance. As well as the firm stated that legalizing marijuana brings in revenue, however, public budgets will be negatively impacted. National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University stated the study estimated that in 2005, $467 billion was spent on substance abuse addicted by federal, which is $230.2 billion, state $135 billion, and local $93.8 billion governments. It found less than 3% of spending was related to prevention, but more than 3/5 was due to healthcare costs, including those attributed to alcohol and tobacco use. So if we legalize marijuana at the age of 18, not only will people be more available to it, but we're going to have to consider the rehabilitation centers, also the healthcare costs, and they're constantly overdosing themselves because they don't know how to control it, as I stated before. So they're going to be sent to the hospitals, and we have to manage that. So that is my point. Legalizing marijuana.